Hey guys, Youthful Yields here. Today we're going to be going over the portfolio. So to start off, this is the week view of the S&P 500. You can see pretty strong numbers here. Obviously, we have a lot of green. We had a mix of some earnings. You can see, I think Netflix was one of them, for example. There was, I guess we can check it out right here. Let me pull up in this website real quick. And let's go back a week. So we had, from my portfolio, we had Coca-Cola, Raytheon. Um, let's see. I think that might have been it. I'm probably missing one here. Oh, Honeywell, Procter and Gamble as well. Yeah, I guess I was missing a lot. But this next week's a little bit more important in terms of overall market. You know, um, we have stuff like Visa. We have more importantly, where is it? We have Microsoft, Meta, Google, Coke, the other Coke. We have 7 more. We have you know, eBay, I guess. We have MasterCard. We have Southern Company for us as well. We have Chevron, ExxonMobil, AbbVie, which is another one I have, as well as Amazon, Apple, MSTR. So many. So many. You can see just next week is going to be a very big numbers game for our portfolio. So fingers crossed that does well. Shell's also on there. A lot of big companies reporting next week. So who knows how it's going to go. I'm actually curious what they're projecting MSTR at. Let's see. I think it's like October 30th. Estimate is 576. Okay. Interesting. And then they beat their. Anyhow, so the market's doing really good right now for the most part. Oh, AMT as well. But, there's a lot of earnings coming up, so we'll see how it continues. There's also I think I saw something recently. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, I found this. Someone posted it in one of the discords I'm in. So, U.S. and China agreed to trade deal framework, Treasury Secretary says. So, we'll be interested to see how that's going to affect the market tomorrow. This was released today, earlier today. So I really don't know how well this is going to go. We can take a look at, maybe like some futures in a second, but we'll see. I guess right here, but I don't know if they have. Let's see, SPY futures. Let me see here. Last, I don't know. I think I can't remember. Well, according to this, it's up 0.67 today, so we'll see. Anyhow, taking a look at the last week, you can see that our portfolio is up 2.35%. Most of that coming from M1 Finance at 2.56%, but our Composer was also up to 1.77%. So we beat SPY. Or let me actually change the SPY here. I added a few more benchmark tickers, so hopefully that was give us a little bit of more insight on some other ones that I was talking about. But you can see SPY here was at 1.93, so we barely didn't beat SPY on the Composer portfolio, but that's fine, and I'll show that in a second. But overall, not too bad. You can see Friday how that ended. Pretty good, strong market day on Friday. So yeah, and then I also added SPY. I don't know if I had this last week, so I added one for our total portfolio there, as well as SPY month by month. So that should give us pretty good amount of years. I think 2020 says like Next year is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A lot. And obviously, over time, we can update this. But let's go into a little bit more detail. So 7-day, we can see Webull up barely, 0.4%. So not much, but we are coming into that MSTR earnings. So obviously, fingers crossed on my side that they lose or they miss their earnings. That would be great for this MSTR position. You can see it's been crazy, like bloom, bloom, bloom. And you can see since I've started tracking it since May 19th, it's gone up 56%, which is pretty insane. So we'll see how that does. On M1 Finance side, you can see here again the week was very strong. The total gain here was 7.57% in industrials, and large percentage of that coming from Raytheon and Honeywell as well. You can see that those both beat the earnings. You can see Honeywell. I don't know why. Those both had earnings this last week. That's what I was trying to point out. But yeah, they both beat their earnings. We also have semiconductors. The largest gain there was from AMD, up 8.5%, which is insane. And then let's see here. Energy, we had largest gain there was from Shell. And again, they have earnings, I believe, on Thursday next week. So we'll see how that does. Or this coming week. We only had one that did not too hot, and that was industrials. Utilities. We have Southern Company. Again, that's going to be on Thursday, I believe, as well. Before open. So that's down 1.96%. We also have consumer staples. The largest loser there was Pepsi. And then we have, last but not least, the real estate. And the largest loser there was technically not a loser, but, a realty income corporation. So pretty good. In terms of what we had from dividends, it looks like we only had one dividend. Yeah, one dividend. And that was AMT. So you can see we got $2.47. Something I also do want to point out is if I can pull it up, dividend income. They have this kind of, estimated thing. You can see here that we're in this one estimated in November to be about $23, and then we're going to get a big amount in December for $55. Chevron is really doing its part there, so that's pretty cool. In fact, I'm actually kind of curious if I can't. But looking at the overview page of our holdings, we're up 16.5% since starting the portfolio. We're up 130% on AMD, which is insanity. 69% on AVGO, almost 70% on that, and 58% on Google, which is awesome. So yeah, if we take a look on the losers side, we have minus 6% on AMT, minus 4% on Costco, and minus 4% on Procter & Gamble. So hopefully AMT and Procter & Gamble hit on earnings next week. I mean, hopefully all these do. I was curious where Abby V is. This one is crazy. I didn't buy this one too long ago, I don't think. Wonder if it shows the last, or like when we first bought it. Probably not. But that one we didn't buy too long ago because I remember switching that out from something. But you can see we're already up 18%, which is pretty cool. So that's one of the higher ones. But overall, pretty happy with the success on this portfolio. So yeah, let's move on to the last part of this video, which is obviously the Composer part. So we see here that the Composer portfolio is obviously up. So we're finally up past our initial deposits, which is super nice. Yeah, so if we take a look here, how everything's doing, really we're mostly invested in this portfolio here, and you can see how that's going there. So we're up actually $60. Or that's today's change. So let me see if I can pull this up on the other site. So if I go IC stats, we can see here that we have total performance 2.1% up. So that's pretty nice. And if we look at the risk metrics here, we can see that the these are starting to separate a little bit more. You can see that the 2007 one that I was testing out has that. We have the at the same time we bought actually no we didn't. We bought this a little bit sooner, but this is the one we were running not too long ago, but we had just had the symphony split up. And let's see, last but not least, we have the one we're running right now, which is actually pretty close to what its backtest is showing, which is super nice. So there obviously was that spook. I think it was on this day. And again, I think that was from, my theory is this from the deposit, and which makes a lot of sense, but I'm not really quite sure. So you can see the correlation is the high, actually, yeah, it is the highest out of all of them, and the tracking area is also the lowest, I guess tied for this one out of all of them. So that's what makes up the risk score, as well as the RMSE that I've mentioned before. But you can see we're technically only down 0.3% from the back test. This one's up 0.3%, this one's up 0.5%. The actual difference isn't like extremely I mean, obviously it's important, but this is just the current thing, whereas this number and these numbers are made up of the values over time and how well those track each other. So really important there, because it gives us a really good idea of how well it's actually tracking. So I'm trying to think. I feel like I'm at kind of out of ideas. I mean, I really need to be promoting this more often, but something I'd like to, shout out again is, and it's in the description, but I have this coupon, or this referral code that you guys could use. And this basically gets you 25% off for life on your Composer portfolio. And what's really cool right now is they are running a, let's see if I can pull it up. I think you go like that. They are running a discount right now for, if you do monthly, which I'd probably recommend if you're just trying it out, $5 a month, right? So I pay $40 a month right now because I don't have any of those like discounts from the referrals off. But you will get, I believe, $5 off. Or you'll get your first month, I believe. I'm not actually sure how they're doing this. And I'm also curious if I could cancel my subscription and get it for $48 a year. That'd be a steal. But regardless, if you do just 1 month, you'll get, first of all, you get the 14 days for free. You'll get the 5 months, and I believe you'll also get a refund on your amount as well. Because I believe with the 25% off, because that gets applied to your account as well as my account, they basically charge you for the current month and then give it back to you or something like that. That's what I've read. I don't know how accurate that is, but my point is, even if this jumps back up to the $40 standard every month, you'll now be only paying $30 a month. And then obviously every new friend that you invite, or even your significant other, it will go down on their $10, which is super nice. But obviously this is a really good deal if you really are sure that you want to use the platform. Getting it for that $48 is a steal. Again, that's basically 1 month that I've been paying. I've already been in here for 6 months, so I've already used a lot of money. So realistically speaking, that's not too bad. But obviously be sure what you can do. Be sure of what you're getting yourself into. There's obviously also what you might call it. There is a You can search through this database as well as ICDB, um, if you really want to, check out uh, what symphonies you want to invest in. There's some really safe ones that I would suggest investing in, and a lot of the older strategies. That's the wrong one. A lot of the older strategies in here are really not too bad because they're built on, largely speaking, fundamentals. So you can come over here and look up like, actually, I think I have it on my watch list here. TQQQ for the long run. There's also this one that kind of got resurfaced recently, where the whole idea is you don't use, I believe, I could be wrong. No, I'm wrong about that. But anyways, there's some really simple ones. You can just do like stuff like this to SPY 7-day RSI, which trades some leverage there, but overall it's pretty safe. You can see back to 2011 how it compares to SPY itself. It's more than 2 times larger. But anyways, obviously up to you guys. I'll show it one more time for those interested. There's the code as well as it's in the description. So when you sign up, it basically says, how did you hear about us? You just put like referral from friend, and then you put this code in there, and we should both get that discount, which would be super nice. You're not, I'm not asking, you're not required to, but obviously it benefits both of us. There's no downside to it. So yeah, guys, I'm pretty excited for the next week. There's definitely more uncertainty on my portfolio this next week going in than these strategies, which is like not too common. So I'm interested in how well it's going to actually do. But overall, I have pretty good faith in all of the companies I chose. I'm still sitting on that idea of switching out to like SPMO or something. So I'm thinking about that because I was looking, and like you can see, since this is since May 19th, this up here, because that's when I started tracking it. We actually are beating SPY, and we are beating like SPMO as well. If I go over here, and we're beating some other stuff. I don't think we're beating VUG, but still not too bad. So anyhow, guys, that is it for me, and as always, I wish you guys a wealthy future.